Welcome to the Authentic Human Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Vickers. Similar to how military and special ops use remote viewing to access secret information, I communicate directly with universal beings to better understand creation, existence, and evolution. For the past 20 years, I've worked with thousands of people around the world, helping them gain access to the highest level information possible so they can achieve their ultimate goals. Right now, I've partnered with the creator and some of the most influential beings in existence to bring you the story of creation. My goal is to create a world where you remember who you are and why you exist. Welcome back to the Authentic Human Podcast. Today, we're experiencing part 11 of the story of creation. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit nervous. About 15 minutes ago, the royal they, in the sense of this story and this experience, but these universal beings shared where we're going and a little bit of what we're going to talk about today. And it was a little bit like deer in headlights. I was like, no, not today. And they're like, yeah, let's go. So today we're going to be talking about who actually created the pyramids. And why I am nervous is because this has been a global question. And there's been a number of archaeologists and scientists and just humans in general asking the right questions sometimes, and sometimes asking questions that weren't big enough. But mostly you had curiosity, and my nerves come from wanting to do you justice. So I'm going to do my best. And if there are things that aren't shared that you don't have enough clarity on, please ask your questions below, because that helps me understand where you are, what you want to know. But it also helps, like I said, I've only been doing this 20 years. And, it's an art that I have to continually get better at, right? When they show me a visual, when they share words specifically, my job is to share that. And my goal is to make the visuals and the information come alive, like it's the best book or movie that you're participating in. And sometimes I nail it, and sometimes I could have done better. And so your questions help me. So thank you. Okay, so let's go see. And so before we go deeper into the who and the why, where the creator wants to start today is he wants to start with explaining why we're talking about this now, why we're talking about this today at this stage of the story of creation, because pyramids were not created until much later in the story. However, he wants to begin to share this wisdom, share this information, so that you can start to understand the balance. And it's not so much the differences, it really is the balance between our original humans and the current version of humanity. Okay. And he says, this is, the pyramids themselves are kind of like a middle playing ground, because the original intention behind their, okay, so first he wants me to share, and there are a number of the first stream of angelics here. So we've talked about them extensively. They are the universal beings that created matter. Okay, so, and then the second stream are those who created experience. Now, the first stream are actually the ones who had a very predominant impact on pyramid shapes. And why I'm using the word shapes and what they're showing me is that that particular vibration that's created when matter, okay? So the energy of matter, which is very different than different energies, okay? So that's a physical energy. But when the physical components of energy are subdivided in a way that creates the vibration as a result of a pyramid, okay? It creates the opportunity for humans to communicate more easily with the universe. Okay. And this is really, really important because this is why there are sacred tombs that are hidden inside pyramids. There are sacred ceremonies that were held in, around, and above these structures. But what you probably don't know is there are over 400,000 pyramids that were created in the core of the earth. And it started the pyramid phenomenon, if you will, from a human mental perspective, started long before human existence. And it's actually kind of the basis for the current day's understanding of sacred geometry. And what they mean by that is it laid the foundation for the physical representation of repeated patterns. And understanding that a repeated pattern, and what they mean by repeated is, right, 400,000, is that when they placed them in the core of the earth, not only did it amplify the earth's ability to communicate through a stronger vibration, it amplified those who experience physical existence here to do the same. Now, why is this so important? So, original humans are just so you know, all of this information is coming through for the first time. I have not actually explored any of this before. So the energy is very big. And so sometimes when I'm hesitating, it's not the hesitation, it's the energy is very big. And I have to allow it to flow into like a current mental understanding and perspective. Okay. So I'm not doing any work. My brain is actually turned off so that I can do this. So what happened during the creation process of Earth in particular? Okay, so there are other planets, if you will, and planets is actually not the correct word for all bodies of matter that are in existence, specifically because every body has its own unique set of vibrations, its own unique intention for ensuring balance is maintained in the universal experience. So it's much different than human existence, where all humans have a similar vibration. It's very, very different because our foundation is the same. Our cellular structure is the same. And how our bodies function is the same. And it's understanding that the nuances are in a reaction to localized proximity, if you will. But ultimately, there's a fundamental difference between planets and their reason for existence. So this also does feed into, is there life on other planets? Absolutely. Of course there is. We're not the only beings in existence. However, the current experience of physical expression for humans of souls is most in alignment with what the earth offers. So here's the thing. We as souls chose to explore the potential that earth had to offer. Why is this so important? Because the pyramids were a huge part of that. So the fact that they were, it's interesting because they're a foundational part. The way they're showing me is they keep showing me the core of the earth, and then they come out from it. So the base, which is the wider part, that's why is always facing towards the center. Okay, this is really important. And then the point faces out. And what that means is out is towards existence itself. And our human mental understanding often is existence starts at the core. And this is really, really important to understand, is that existence is. Creation begins in a space of, space is not in a physical sense, but in an understanding of physical representation begins in the center and moves out. Universal existence does not. It is complete and whole in its entirety. So it has the same density, the same structure, the same weight, the same everything perspective across all. Like if you move to the edge of it, it's no less dense than it is in the center, because it is in its entirety fullness. This is really important because, our understanding and what humans have sort of manipulated existence into is, if you're left out on the edges, it's not good enough. It's not worthy enough. You're not worthy enough. And it's completely inappropriate, but it's also a complete misunderstanding, and it's a manipulation of the actual truth. So when you begin to understand how existence works and how it, gosh, it's like I'm like out of breath. It's really fascinating. I feel like I just ran 10 miles. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, and I'm shaking a little bit. So it's fascinating. So, okay. So where we are in existence currently is understanding that the vibration of physical energy. Okay, so this is when we walk on the earth, there is physical energy. Yes. But because the pyramids are in the way they are, and they're structured the way they are, and in their specific locations, this is not geographical, this is foundational, right? So it's like the foundation of the physical creation of Earth herself. Because they are situated in that particular way, they speak the language of the universe. This is very important. It's why when you walk on the earth with your bare feet, that's why my hand is going in that way, because our feet are communicating not only with the earth, but with the universe as well. We can pick up on that vibration. This is why bare feet are so important, right? It's our connection with the earth is so important. And it's also understanding that, there's so many things like clothing and temperature that have caused us to limit our connection with the earth, when really we were created to thrive with our connection in all ways. Excuse me, hang on. So ultimately, the foundation that was created by the strategic placement of these pyramid structures within the core of the earth determined the vibration the earth was determined the universal vibration that the earth was able to carry. Okay, so she not only carries physical vibration, which is what all of us carry, right? She also has the capacity to carry universal vibration. This is extremely important. This is what drew the universal souls to want to come and explore human existence here. Okay? Because we knew that we could come in and have a physical experience while still maintaining our universal experience. Okay? This is unheard of in other destinations. Let's just because of we're not going to get into the science today, but ultimately what they're showing me is, gases and different things cannot hold the vibration that is required for human presence. Okay, so remember, human presence, we're not just humans, we're not just physical. We started as souls and we came here to have a human experience, but it is the soul that is having the experience. And this is really, if your brain, can't allow that knowledge in, the rest of what I'm saying isn't going to make sense anyways. So ultimately, what they're showing me is, as humans, we've collected ample information, awareness, and perspective from the universal field, right? So universal awareness, long before we've come here, long before we've chosen to participate in this universal experience that really was never meant to go in the direction it is right now. So these pyramids come out from the core of the earth, and they maintain, it's a pattern. They maintain a pattern of universal presence. Okay. So what does that mean? That means that they are situated at points that are necessary. Okay. It does not mean that standing, again, here we go with the limits of the universe. It does not mean that standing next to one gives you more power than standing next to a different one. What it means is they were put in place, okay, strategically to allow you to pick up on. So they're like satellites, but the actual pyramid isn't the satellite. The pattern of how they are dispersed and displayed throughout the earth and the continents is the satellite. So it's actually the space of all vibration. It has nothing to do with physical proximity. Does that make sense? So it's understanding that the vibration that we feel when we walk certain places and we feel more deeply connected, or we feel more deeply rooted in our knowing and our understanding, is not because it's really fascinating. It's not because of a physical attraction. It is because your awareness has hit a peak. So it's like your awareness has hit a peak. And what they mean, it's like a level of understanding that brings you closer to a greater understanding of existence. Okay, this is really important because when humans are moving through this awakening journey, this restoring and resurrection of our true selves. It's understanding that that energy, that journey, that destination isn't going to be attained on the physical plane. Okay? It is attained through the universal vibration. And it's understanding that as a soul, you were created through the wisdom, knowledge, and awareness of universal vibration. And this planet was strategically created in order for you to maintain that connection while you're here in physical form. Super important. Because so the creator says, it's not that I knew manipulation was going to occur. It's that, because that's was never in my awareness. It was never in my intention. My intention was that my creations, my it's like the all that is. So every aspect of existence in his domain is directly connected to the source. And the source is the awareness of all things. This is, if you get nothing else from the entire story of creation, this is the most important thing I will ever share with you. He says, you are a part of the source of creation. And everything you do, everything you are, is a reflection of that source. Everyone in existence understands this. That is why the earth was created the way she is. That is why the sun was created the way he is. It is why all of the planets, all of the stars, all of the mountains and the trees and the actual soil that you can put your hands through, the water that you can allow to flow around you and through you, every single creation understands its origin of source, but its vibration. Every single creation exists to the limits of source itself, of existence itself, just like the understanding that he was sharing. There's no core is not better than the outsides, or the edges rather. And so he says, my gift, my gift, in, if you will, is understanding this definition, this understanding itself, that all things come from that level of existence, that source. And as a result of that, humanity is not only able to thrive, it's able to create and participate in existence itself. This is why the foundation of the pyramids were put into place. It is why the first stream of angelics, they understood that once humanity was created, once the intention for, again, these are souls first, remember, once human souls were created, they would want a place to play, want a place to explore. And in a different way than we explore the universe itself. Okay? So it's like the same desire inside of you that has you wanting to travel to different parts of the world. because you want different experiences. You want to see how other people live. It's exactly why humanity decided, let's go have a physical experience. It's the same thing. It's no different, right? But we don't look at it that way. And it's time we start seeing it for what it actually is. There is a reason you have these strong feelings, right? It's this longing that you want to explore different places, you want to explore different people, different cultures, different everything, because you were created that way. You were, the way that it's really beautiful. It's the way they're saying it is, and there's a lot. It's like the collective of human souls, if you will. So every human soul in existence. So that's not the population of the planet, because that's only about 2 or 3% of human souls. But they communicate as a collective, and the message and the understanding is, it's this recognition of our sole purpose, our whole reason for existence itself is to explore our potential and fulfill an aspect of humanity, of existence itself, that has not yet been explored or experienced. It's everything new. And there's a reason that you're constantly wanting new. The problem is we've been chained and chained strategically to limit our beliefs and limit our understanding. And so the reason that we're today talking about pyramids very specifically and very strategically is because this is your initiation, if you will. This is your the beginning of where you begin to recognize your existence in connection with the universe itself. And it's not just a concept. We need you to break that barrier that it is a concept, right? So concepts are things you read. This is how it's how humans have been taught to think and perceive the world over the last few thousand years. It's really ultimately why the education system and that structure of it has broken our connection with ourselves. And so the intention at this time is for the resurrection of your soul awareness, and that comes from and through your connection to the universe. And so they want you to feel that vibration that comes through the pyramids. So it's just taking a couple minutes. If you are in a position where you can close your eyes, I highly encourage you to do that. It's not going to be long. It's just going to be a couple minutes. Please don't do it if you're driving. And allow yourself to, and the other part is as you expand, as your awareness expands, the goal is that you can do this feeling with your eyes open. Maybe you're preparing food, maybe you're going for a drive, and you can still feel all this energy, right? That is the goal. So if you're encouraged to come back and listen time and time again until your vibration raises, it rises into your potential, right? This is the same thing, because this is where it starts. In order to resurrect humanity, we have to begin first with your ability to feel, because that's where everything comes from, right? From that energy. And so when you go beyond and you sort of you cross that barrier that goes from a concept into a fact, which is truth, then you become so much more. Okay. So right now, it's just allowing yourself to begin to feel your feet in connection with the planet. Doesn't matter if you're flying in a plane, even, if you're walking. Energy knows no bounds, or limits. Everything is available to you always. It's allowing your feet and the connection with the earth to come through into your physical vessel, your physical being. And as you're allowing that energy to come through, notice how that energy wants to communicate with your body. Notice if there's a new concept or new concepts that it wants to introduce. Maybe you're working on healing. Maybe you have an emotional trauma that is needing to be released. The energy from the earth, right? Remember, it's not just her. It's not just physical energy. It is encoded with source energy from the universe, which holds the very vibration of existence itself. All the secrets of existence, all the secrets of your own creation. And this energy wants to speak to you. In fact, it's speaking to you all the time. And the intention is that you allow, and allow means you surrender, and you don't need to block. You don't need to push it away, because we push because of the experiences that we've had in this life where we no longer trust. And what the Creator, that's the bigger opportunity that is being offered today, is He wants you to understand that creation itself is built on the foundation of your existence. And the awareness of your existence is continuously and continually available to you. It doesn't expire. It doesn't run out. It can't be blocked unless you choose not to see it. That's it. But it's still there. It doesn't mean you're not receiving it. It means you're not participating in what you're receiving. And that's what the initiation is today. Is he's performing an initiation ceremony. The Creator is performing an initiation ceremony as I'm speaking, to allow you to retrieve the trust and the truth of your connection with the earth and your ability to communicate with the universe, with the stars, with everyone. And He wants you to feel the difference in the vibration. So notice how your body shifts as you go from this concept of I am more, I am energy, to I'm in deep connection with the earth and with the universe itself. And what He wants you to feel is you're home. Because it doesn't matter where in existence you are, you're home. You will always be home because you're a part of who I am. Just allow your energy to rise and allow it to flow and allow it to move and grow in the way that it's meant to. Releasing control. That's it. Releasing any fear, any nerves. It's allowing yourself to stop being scared of who you are, to stop fearing your power, to stop losing sleep over things you can't control, because you're not meant to control anything. You're meant to experience, you're meant to play, and you're meant to explore your potential, what makes you happy, what brings you joy, because that's where fulfillment is found. And as you feel this vibration, as you feel this energy today and every day, may you find within you a state of being that remains at the vibration of universal existence itself. It is so.